Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books. How are you? This video is going to be about the Serious About Series challenge, which I have up here on my laptop. Let me look at it. So I saw it at Mitzi Reads and Writes, and it originated. The creator is Lizzie Faye Reads Books, and I liked it because I already have a number of series going. And I was sort of thinking of reading my shelf a little bit this year with series anyway. So it just appealed to me. And now the prompts don't exactly fit with what I'm planning to do. Some prompts fit in. But anyway, so it's a Serious About Series reading challenge. So in order to complete series that you've started or want to start. The prompt one is trilogies. She's focusing on the number 3 because of 2023. So prompt 1, trilogies. Trilogies you want to start, trilogies you want to finish, trilogies you want to read start to finish. And then prompt 2 is a series you only have 3 or less books left in. I don't think I have anything in that category. Prompt 3, series you want to make progress in. Challenge yourself to read at least 3 books in any of the long series you are reading. And then there's a bonus prompt. Pick 3 series and read them start to finish. So the series that I'm involved with currently, well, of course, the most important one right at the forefront is the Hornblower reading challenge. Or read along. We're reading all 11 of the Hornblower books. By C.S. Forster. And January, the book for January is Mr. Midshipman Hornblower. And there's still time, as I said before, to join if you want to. It's great fun. And let's see, next month I'm going to read Lieutenant Hornblower. I once had the full set. This was my father's. And I had all this type. But somehow I lost 2 or 3 of them. So I had to replace them, which is disheartening. But anyway, so the Hornblower series is great fun. There's 11 in the series, and I plan to read them from start to finish this year. So that's the first one. The second thing is I am finishing up a series right now. I have been reading for over a year now. I've been trying to work through Anthony Trollope's The Palliser series. There's 6 novels. And I read 2 in 2021, and then in 2022, I read, let me see if I can do the math. There's 6, right? So I read 3, and then I was supposed to finish this in December, but that's how far I am. I'm really listening to it on audio, but I try to keep up with, might even be more advanced than where this bookmarker is right now. No, I think it's accurate. So anyway, so when I finish this up, that'll be the first series I'll have completed in 2023. I'll have finished the Palliser series. And I believe Anthony Trollope only wrote 2 series, the Barchester ones and the Palliser ones. And they're both 6 novels each. And they have characters that sort of overlap too. Not to a great extent, but somewhat. So this is the second. Now, will that fit any of the prompts? It says, 3 or less books left in. So I guess I will have a prompt too, because when I finish reading this, I'll have finished the series. So that's great. And let's see, series you, then it said, pick 3 series and read them start to finish. I don't know if I'll come out with 3, but Hornblower could be one. And then I have been working on, for the last, 5 years or so, I've been working on reading the Swallows in Amazon series by Arthur Ransome. These are wonderful stories. They are written, they're sort of set between World War I and World War II in England in the Lake District for the most part. Sometimes they wander off, like maybe they're going to sea. And it's a wonderful series. Maybe you can see where they are. Can I point to them? No, wait, there they are. So I think there's 12 in the whole series. I only have 7. I only have the first 7, and this is the 7th one. I've read 6 of them. I'm going to read this this year, probably in the summer. They seem to be summery books to me, although some of them are set in winter. But I've been trying to read one of them every summer, and sometimes I double up and read two. So I've gotten to, this is book 7 this year. And then I only own the first 7. So I have to decide whether I want to go and get the remaining set and read the next 5. I'm kind of thinking I should. I've come all this way. It would be nice to own the whole thing. But yeah, so this is a series that I'll at least make some progress in. Then for the prompt about the trilogy, it says trilogy you want to finish. So in 2022, I read the first book in the Corfu Trilogy. I bought this at a used bookstore. And it's got all 3 of Gerald Jarrell's novels, not novels, they're memoirs. The first one is My Family and Other Animals. And that was a reread. I had read that before. But then the remaining 2 books are Birds, Beast, and Relatives and The Garden of the Gods. So I would love to finish reading this trilogy this year. So that would be a good thing to do. And that would answer one of the prompts. And then I have 3 other series that I actually had been considering trying to read. One of them, this is, did I say trilogy? I meant series if I said trilogy. This is a set of, I think they're middle grade books by Susan Cooper. It's the Dark is Rising series, or they call it Dark is Rising sequence. And one of them won something. Newbery. Okay, this one won the Newbery. And I've heard about this forever, and I bought this, I think, for my oldest daughter. And the Oversea Under Stone is a little slow starting, and she never got into it. But I've heard Susan Weiss Bauer rave about these books. She really enjoyed them. And I kind of follow Susan Weiss Bauer. She wrote The Well-Trained Mind, and she wrote textbooks, kind of histories for high schoolers and also for little kids. So I've sort of been a fan of her and followed her on social media, and she said she really liked them. I think they're Arthurian somehow. I think they're set in that world. And we, a long time ago, we had Susan Cooper's book, The Bogart, and we it was on audio, and we listened to it all the time, and it was great. We loved it. So I thought they would really like Susan Cooper. But it never took off, I don't think. So it's sitting on my shelf, and I have all 5 books. So I thought, why don't I read them during middle grade March, or at least start them during middle grade March? And if I love them, I'll keep them. And if I don't love them, I know that I've read them and I can give them away. So I was already considering this before I heard about the series about series. So that's kind of inspiring me to really dedicate March to reading these books, or at least starting to read them. And then Mitzi at Mitzi Reads and Writes had mentioned this before, but she mentioned it again in her video, that she wanted to read the Emily of the New Moon series by L.M. Montgomery. And there's another set that I got my daughter, and somehow I think she read the first 2. Now that I think about it, I think she read Emily of the New Moon and the second one. Second one's missing. So I would have to replace the second one, which is, let's see, what are the names? It's Emily of the New Moon is the first one. What's the second one? Does it say anywhere? It's like Emily's. Let's see if it's here. Come on, tell me. Okay, so the first one is Emily of the New Moon, which I have, and then it's Emily Climbs, and then Emily's Quest, which is this one. So it's annoying that I'm missing the second one, but I'll have to get that. And then I would like to see if I can read this as well. So, and again, they've been sitting on my shelf for years, and I would like to read them, and if I like them, I'll keep them, and if I like them but I don't feel the need to keep them, then I will give them away. So I'd like to deal with this and the missing book. And then the last series that I'm interested in is this. My son-in-law, it might have then even before he became my son-in-law, gave somebody this book. I'm not sure who the recipient was, but I've never read them. And I love P.G. Wodehouse, and I've read Jeeves and Wooster, I've read The Blandings, I've read P. Smith, or whatever, the P is silent. And I've read standalones, but I don't think I've ever read his Uncle Fred. So I'm not sure if this is actual a series, but I do think he wrote a bunch of books featuring Uncle Fred. So that's a series, right? That would make sense. So if you look at the contents, I was looking at it. The first one says Uncle Fred Flits By, and that seems to be more of a short story. But then there are 3 novels, Uncle Dynamite, and then Cocktail Time, and then Service with a Smile. And they're all kind of novel length. So this would be another fun thing to read. And I was thinking, some of these are light enough that we're going to the beach for a week this summer. And then my husband and I are taking the 7-year-old grandson to Glacier National Park. We're going to take the train. We're going to fly to Chicago, then we're going to take the train to the park. I think it's 31 hours, and we're sleeping. We have a berth, and then we're going to be at the park, I think, for 6 days, and then we're going to fly home from Montana. So that sounds like great fun, but it also sounds like it might be good to have a light but absorbing book to read on the train. I don't know. This isn't so light, though. I mean, it is bulky, so maybe that wouldn't work. Probably my Kindle would be the best thing to take. But I'm just thinking that not too demanding series might fit the bill there. So those are all the series that I'm contemplating this year. It's the Hornblowers, of course, the Hornblower series. Finishing up the Pallisers, which I'm excited. I think I have only 7 hours left in the audiobook. Continuing to make progress in We Didn't Mean to Go to Sea. Finishing up the trilogy, the Corfu Trilogy, the memoirs of Gerald Durrell. Middle Grade March, doing the Darkest Rising sequence by Susan Cooper. And then maybe Emily of the New Moon and Uncle Fred. Utterly Uncle Fred. So I thought it was an exciting and fun challenge, and I think both Mitzi and Lizzie Faye really like cozy mysteries, and maybe that was what they had more in mind. I don't have any cozy mysteries here, but I do apparently like to read series. So that's it. I'm going to attach a video I made a few days ago. I'm going to try to learn how to splice videos together. And that has to do with a follow-up of my shelf tour over there, and what I decided to do, and there's a giveaway. So if you're interested in a giveaway, stay tuned. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, hi, this is Faith of Faith and Books. I'm just going to do a quick update on what I decided to do on that shelf. Let's see if I can... There we go. This shelf right there. I've got my weird gloves on. Let me take them off. Anyway... So this is just a quick update. So the big decision is I've decided to unhaul Robert Fitzgerald's translation of the Iliad. I was thinking of it. I've been reading through both of them, Lattimore and Fitzgerald. And, he writes, and there are passages where I really like his rendering, and there are passages where I really like his rendering. But overall, I think I slightly prefer the Lattimore. And when I went up to my bedroom to see the other copy of the Odyssey that I knew I had up there, it was also Lattimore. So now I have a complete set of Lattimore, the Iliad and the Odyssey. Plus, I have the Samuel Butler translation, which is up in the nice binding, the blue binding up there. I don't need more than that. So I think I'm gonna unhaul this particular translation of the Iliad. I'm also decided I'm gonna unhaul the is it R-I-E-U translation, this Penguin, which is in prose form of the Odyssey, even though I'm attached to it because I did read it out loud to my older teens when we were first studying the Odyssey, and I was intimidated by the Odyssey because I had studied it in college and didn't get it at all. But I did this time. So I'm attached to this, but on the other hand, I don't need more than one set of the Odyssey. I really don't. So So I'm also going to unhaul that. I decided that I'm going to unhaul the Penguin version of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight because I just like the Tolkien translation so much. That's all I need of that. And let's see, I'm keeping this. Oh, and then the big thing I decided is this is my, this is a used copy of Plutarch's Lives. This is both volumes. And I got this at a used books store. This says Vern J. Campbell, 1969. However, the print is slightly faded and the paper is slightly yellowed, and the print itself is not that crisp. It's not that tight, and I find it hard to read. Even though I looked at the other edition which I have up there, which is just volume 1. Which is also Modern Library, but it's in the paperback form, which I like. It's nice and floppy. It's lighter because it's broken into 2 volumes. And even though the print's tinier, there's a space in between the lines. There's a bigger space, and the print itself is crisper, so it's just easier for me to read. Not that this is terrible, but it's just the other version is slightly easier on my eyes, and I don't need 2 different copies. So what I'm going to do, I only have volume 1 of the paperback. I'm going to look for volume 2, see if I can get it used. And that's going to be my set of Plutarch's Lives, and I'm going to unhaul this one. So, and the other things I did was I took The Cloud Up Unknowing. Linda Jo Martins had put that in your Christian literature, so that's now over here. And what else did I do? I found my other retelling of King Arthur by Howard Pyle, and I put that up there. So now I have 3. I have the Mort Arthur, I have, which, is the original one, and then I have the T.H. White's Once and Future King, and then I have Howard Pyle's retelling of King Arthur. So I put those all together. So I'm pretty satisfied. Now I've got a little bit more space so I can add books as I want to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway. So the first person who lets me know that they want a book, and you can pick one of these books, I'll list them down below, I will give it to you. Now, I can't do all of the books because that will cost a lot to mail. So just pick one, and like if it's a heavier book like this one, it's going to be media mail. That's how I'm gonna mail it to you. If it's a slender volume like this, I'll do standard shipping. But yeah, I'll just give these away. I'm gonna maybe put some in a little free library and donate others to a thrift store that we have here. So it's Plutarch's Lives, volumes 1 and 2, but that's media mail, so you might not get it for like a month. The Iliad, this is a little bit hefty too, so that might take a little longer to get to you if that's what you want. The Odyssey by Rue in prose, Penguin, or the last one, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. So giveaway, first person to pick one book, I will send it to you. Okay? All right, so that's it for now. And I am hoping to add this to the end of the video that I put up this weekend where I just do a weekly update. All right, I'll see if I can do that. I've never edited at all, but I think I figured out how you can splice two separate videos together. So I'm getting really sophisticated here. All right, talk to you later. Bye.